While the world watches TSMC and Samsung, China just made a quiet move that could shake the global memory chip market to its core. A NAND giant is now coming for DRAM, and no one's ready for it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a game-changing development in the world of semiconductors. China's YMTC, a company once laser-focused on NAND flash memory, is now gearing up to enter the DRAM market, one of the most competitive and strategically important arenas in global tech. This isn't just about chips. This is about tech sovereignty, geopolitical power, and the future of memory technology. If you're into tech warfare, semiconductors, or just want to understand how global powers compete in silence, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. Let's begin with a quick profile. YMTC, or Yangtze Memory Technologies Conan, is one of China's premier semiconductor firms. Backed by state investments and part of the Tsinghua Uni Group, YMTC made headlines when it developed X-Tacking, a revolutionary architecture for NAND flash chips. For years, YMTC has focused exclusively on NAND flash, which powers everything from SSDs to smartphones. But now, in a surprise pivot, it's preparing to dive into the DRAM market, a domain historically dominated by Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Why is this such a big deal? Because DRAM isn't just another memory format, it's the beating heart of nearly every computing device. PCs, smartphones, data centers, AI servers, you name it. The global DRAM market was worth over $90 billion in 2023. Three companies, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, hold over 95% of market share. Entering this oligopoly is like trying to break into a steel vault with your bare hands. So why is China pushing YMTC into DRAM? Simple, self-reliance. With US sanctions and trade restrictions growing tighter, China needs homegrown alternatives to avoid tech blackouts. DRAM is strategic infrastructure in the digital age, just like oil was in the 20th century. China doesn't want to be at the mercy of foreign tech giants anymore. YMTC is starting small but smart. Rather than jumping directly into cutting-edge consumer DRAM, the company is rumored to be beginning with legacy DRAM and niche applications, including GDDR6 for graphics cards and LPDDR4 for mobile devices. Here's the genius part. Instead of trying to compete head-to-head with Samsung or Micron immediately, YMTC will slowly climb the maturity curve, generation by generation. They're already building a massive DRAM facility in Wuhan, projected to hit full-scale production within a few years. The initial plan includes custom DRAM for low-power industrial and military use, leveraging government contracts to build revenue, and collaborating with other domestic firms to source materials and tools. YMTC's approach is long-term. Dominate in China first, then go global. Of course, it's not going to be easy. YMTC faces major hurdles. First, tooling limitations. Due to US export restrictions, YMTC can't freely access EUV lithography machines from ASML or advanced tools from Lam Research. Second, talent shortage. DRAM engineering is extremely niche. China still relies on Taiwanese, South Korean, and American engineers for advanced chip design. Third, yields and efficiency. Even if YMTC builds fabs, getting them to produce reliable, high-performance DRAM at scale is a whole different ballgame. Fourth, geopolitical pressure. Any partnership with overseas vendors can be blocked or sanctioned by the US, putting a serious brake on progress. So yes, YMTC's rise in DRAM is ambitious, but not impossible. Here's where things get interesting. Even if YMTC doesn't take 10% of the global DRAM market, its very presence could trigger price drops. Remember, DRAM is a commodity. Oversupply tanks prices fast. If YMTC starts undercutting with government subsidies, even at lower performance levels, it could shake up the balance. Western companies could lose contracts in Asia and Africa. More importantly, YMTC might corner the domestic Chinese market, cutting off billions in revenue for companies like Micron or SK Hynix. It's not just about sales, it's about control. China's internal demand is so huge that even being dominant within its borders gives YMTC leverage. This is the same strategy used in solar panels, EV batteries, and rare earths. Win the home game, then dominate exports. What's next for YMTC? In the short term, expect low-volume DRAM aimed at Chinese defense and industrial sectors, a focus on local supply chains like domestic photolithography startups and packaging plants. Heavy government funding, especially through Little Giant SME projects and Made in China 2025. In the long term, potential collaborations with Huawei and Alibaba Cloud, who need DRAM for their AI servers and smartphones. An eventual push into mainstream computing, but only once reliability and yield catch up. China knows that the chip war is a marathon, not a sprint. YMTC's DRAM push might not change everything overnight, but it could reshape the next decade of semiconductor history. So will YMTC become the next Micron? Maybe not yet, but what we're witnessing is a quiet storm. A long, state-backed campaign to build the most critical technologies from the ground up. In the DRAM race, YMTC is the underdog, but with the full power of China behind it. What do you think? Can China really break the Western memory monopoly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives into tech geopolitics, semiconductor wars, and how the world of chips is shaping our future.